I feel like the Soundcatcher had more of a reggae influence on it, whereas this album I think it's slightly more soulful. I mean, it's a continuation. I mean, I made both albums. One of the other things is I think this album has more electronic elements in it. It's slightly more electronic. There's more keyboards and synthesizer stuff. And also I think on this album I used like a vocoder for the very first time, and I sing through a vocoder, and I never sung before on a record, and I do little things like that.
Okay. And when you started with the work on this new album, you said you finished it last year, but when was the start for the album?
I work on music all the time, and sometimes I don't finish tracks, but they sit there for a very long time. So some of the tracks, such as Soldier and the very first track and the very last track, Toddy, both of those rhythms are maybe 5-6 years old, but I never finished them.
Okay.
Like they may be from 2003, 2004. Never finished, but only last year did I actually finish it. Other tracks, literally, I started in October and finished in November. So most of it, 95% of it is from last year, and some of it is just a little bit older, but I got the vocal or something last year. I completed it.
Okay, can you explain the title of the album? Because it's kind of different.
Mysterious. You can't learn imagination. It's something like that my wife always told me, joking about, oh, you can't learn imagination, and don't know, she always messed around with this thing, and I thought, you know what, that's a really good title for an album. And it means that you have to go within yourself to find inspiration, to find creativity. And that's what I had to do when I had the cancer, because when you have something like that, the doctors were telling me some people take 6 months off just to recuperate, to find themselves, because it's like a really big thing. And the doctors are always sending me these letters going, do you suffer from depression? Are you okay? Do you want to kill yourself? Are you happy? And like, I'm so happy right now. I have so much inspiration. And when I came out of the cancer, it's like, I just felt like a new person.
You explained the album like a diary of your last month. Also, most of the albums, of your albums, of course, they have a message for the people, that they can get something for their life. What is the main message from this album for the people outside?
I mean, I guess the message is also that people can go within themselves. They don't need to rely on other people. You don't need to wait for a life-changing event. Celebrate life while you have it, and go within yourself to find that creativity. You don't need to go and buy all this meaningless shit that the world's trying to sell you. We have everything right here in our hands to enjoy. And yeah, the album is really a celebration of life, celebration of love, a celebration of trying to be creative.
After more than 10 years on a top producer level, in general, give us a little message about producers in 2009.
Well, yeah, I mean, without producers, there is no music. It'll just be all a cappella. Yeah, I think it varies and it's hard, and I can't knock anyone's hustle. Everyone's life's journey is different, and if music is your ability to feed your family, that's not a bad thing. It's better to do it through music than to do it through stealing and stabbing and negativity, you know what I mean? So if that's what music gives you, the ability to feed yourself and your family, that's a blessed thing.
Your music is influenced by hip-hop. Let me say it like this. It's not only hip-hop, but of course you have roots in hip-hop. And do you think hip-hop in this time is also on a good way? Because there were some problems with only gangster rap stuff, things like that. And some guys told hip-hop is dead now. What do you think?
Yeah, Nas said hip-hop is dead. Yeah, sure. I don't know, I have a love-hate relationship with music. I have a love-hate relationship with hip-hop. A bit like some people have with girlfriends or wives. It's like, in English, there's a saying, you can't live with her and you can't live without her, talking about a woman. Because you want her, but then you don't, it's a complex thing. That's the same with hip-hop. Every day I can go to a store and get super pissed off at what I think is just the bullshit nature of some of the tracks that are there, but then I hear something else and I'm blown away, and I'm like, this is incredible. This could never have come out before. You know, and that's the truth. You know, some people just say, you know, hip hop was not the same as it was in 1989 with Rakim and Cool G Rap. You know, I grew up listening to that, and they're incredible. That's my foundation. KRS-One, Public Enemy, Brand Nubian, all those kind of people then. But there's still dope shit coming out now. There is, but I mean, you got to search for it. I mean, there's some booty shit, and you got to realize that it can never be 1989 again.
This album is coming in May. Please give us at least some information about it. It's now your platform to promote your album. And after that, please give us some infos what's coming next, what the plans from DJ Vadim in 2009 and 2010.
I mean, there's a lot of information out there. I think the best place to go is to go to either djvadim.com or djvadim, myspace.com/djvadim or Facebook. All the shows are there, the concerts, the tour. I mean, in terms of what else is coming up, I'm making music all the time. Even as we're doing this interview, in my mind, I'm making music. Okay. You know, so there's actually, this album is part of a body of work. I made, like, when I came out of hospital, I made like 60 tracks. And 18 of them are on this album. There's 42 left, and there's some of them are really good. So I'm working on another album. I'm finishing that this year. I have another production. The person who helps me with the keyboards on the album is a guy called Little Steve, and we started a production thing called Butterfish Black, and we're making an album as well. And I don't know, I've remixed a lot of people recently. I worked with Stevie Wonder, I worked with Prince, Alice Russell. I've done a lot of remixes, so stuff like that is coming out. It's going to be coming out over the next few months, and all the time in the studio, just cranking beats, cranking shit, cooking up the black crack.
Thanks for the time, it was a pleasure.
Dankeschön.
Okay, ein paar deutsche Worte am Ende. Das war's mit Backspin TV, DJ Vadim. You can learn imagination. 8.5. Album kaufen, Backspin TV, danke.